Just want to say hi. Hope everybody's having a good Friday night. Getting starting to warm up here in California. It's pretty nice. It's been in the 70s the last day or two. It's pretty nice. Get out of rain and snow. But come on for a minute. Just to say hi. I went to a local card shop today. Picked up a few cards. Just know that you can buy cards for cheap, and you get Hall of Famers. You can get Hall of Famers for pretty cheap if you're not just going for the rookie cards. You know, sometimes you find some good deals going through the dollar bins at your local card shops and your local card shows. But today I went to a local card shop, picked up a few things. Nothing too major, a couple raw cards, but just want to pop on some from it. I only spent probably about $12 on these cards, so it's nothing too crazy, but just to show people that you can find things pretty cheap. If you spend your time looking, through the dollar bins. Well, here's some cards I'm going to show you guys here real quickly. I got a 1965 RBI leaders. Dean Johnson, Frank Robinson, and Willie Mays. I think I paid for that. I paid $5 for that card. Well, there's the back, and here's the front. Once again, you guys can get Hall of Famers, for pretty cheap. Especially these RBI leader cards, these home run leader cards, or these pitching leader cards. You don't mind multi-players on a card. Sometimes you can get a few Hall of Famers on there. And sometimes these cards are pretty cheap. If you're collecting Hall of Famers. Let's see here. Here's another one I got. 1975 Johnny Bench. I paid, I think, $7. Yeah, I paid $7 for this card. Pretty expensive. Hall of Famer. And I love these, 1975 designs. They're pretty cheap. Eventually I want to try to get all the minis. That's going to be a project, but eventually, I'll start to try to get as many as I can. I think there's like 680 minis. I think there's about the same minis as there are regular cards. And, eventually I want to complete the set, the regular 75s and, the minis. That'd be a goal. It's going to probably take me a long while, but someday I'll get there, hopefully. Let's see here. And there's another, cheap card. Kellogg's. I think I paid about $5 for this. Pete Rose 3D Kellogg's. This is 1981. Here's the back. And here's the front. These are pretty cool cards, cheap. You can get a bunch of Hall of Famers that way and it not be so expensive. And I just like the design on these Kellogg 3D Superstar cards. It's just pretty cheap. Like I say, you can get Hall of Famers, even grade, grade 10s, PSA 10 is probably like $130, and a raw you can get for just a few dollars. But I'll show you the front again, and there's the back. Like I said, Kellogg's are cool cards to collect, pretty cheap. You don't have to spend $800 on a box or $1,800 on a box. You can go get a bunch of singles and enjoy your hobby that way. You always don't have to buy a hobby box. collect what you like. Don't let influencers and other people, choose for you. Because in the long run, it's your museum that you're building, it's your card collection, and nobody else's. So at the end of the day, hopefully you guys are enjoying your collecting and, just enjoy collecting what cards you like to enjoy and, just enjoy the hobby. I hope everybody has a good Friday night. Hope everybody has a good weekend. And I will talk to you guys later. Okay, late.